What's up guys, today we will be going over the new 3 Altar of Sorrow weapons and how good they are in PvE and PvP, and highlighting the best overall role for each weapon, and that will include the sniper, then the shotgun, which is going to be a slug shotgun, which will be interesting, then finally the rocket launcher, which also has some very interesting perks for PvE. So you can farm all 3 of these weapons in the Altar of Sorrows, which is on the top part of the moon, and it's going to be a 5-wave event with a boss at the end, and there's going to be 3 different bosses that rotate daily. The first one will be the Atheon looking Minotaur that will drop the rocket launcher, as you see right here. Then the second boss will be an Ogre, which will drop the shotgun, and these rotate daily in this cycle that I'm naming them. So if you want to farm one of these weapons, you gotta wait for the cycle to line up on that day. And the third one will be this Tanix looking guy. I believe he's just the Nightmare of Tanix. He drops the sniper rifle. And the Altar of Sorrow is actually pretty easy to farm. There's a pretty good build for this, and it's the Hunter 1-2 punch on Arc Strider with Tractor Cannon, Liar's Handshake, Thunder Coil, Combination Blow, and also Gambler's Dodge. And then you can also use any 1-2 punch shotgun. I used one small step for the ammo because it holds 25 with no reserves, which is really good. And you just punch all the nightmares and the boss, and it's pretty easy to do, even solo queue or if you have a few other teammates. First weapon we're going to be talking about is the rocket launcher in this video. First, looking at the perks it can get. It only has 4 in each column, and the notable ones are Demolitionist in the left column. Then in the right column you have Cluster Bombs and also Kill Clip. And those are going to be the 3 perks I'm going to highlight in this video. So first, with Kill Clip on a rocket launcher, let's see what Kill Clip actually does. You think that'd be one of the better perks on a rocket launcher because it's going to be like a 33% increase to the damage, and that's one of the only damage increases in the game. So without the perk, this is what it hits. Now if we go ahead and get a kill first, proc Kill Clip, which is kind of rough on a rocket launcher, getting a kill just to get damage, but as you see, only the impact damage goes up that 33%, which means it's pretty much useless. It's not even as good as spike grenades on grenade launchers, which is 50%. So there's really no point to ever use Kill Clip on a rocket launcher. Next up will be Demolitionist, which is the perk where you get grenade energy on kill, then throwing your grenade reloads the weapon from reserves. And as you see with a heavy weapon, it only takes like 5 or 6 kills to get your full grenade, which is very good. And then once you have your grenade, you can throw it, reload the rocket, which means there's some pretty interesting things you can do with this rocket launcher. Next perk we're going to look at is Cluster Bomb, which I think we all know what that does by now. And Cluster Bombs got changed a lot. A lot of the damage is now on the actual base rocket compared to the cluster, so it's a lot more consistent. And looking at a few shots on Greg, I averaged around 46,000. My lowest was 45.5 and my highest was 46.4. So right in the middle, let's just say the average is around 46,000, and like I said, clusters are a lot more consistent than they used to be. We're going to test the rate of fire of this weapon in 2 different ways. The first one, just maxing out the reload speed with Lunafaction, Pulse Wave, all that good stuff like normal, and seeing how quickly we can shoot off 5 shots, reloading as fast as possible with this weapon. So go ahead and do that, see how long it takes. Now this rocket I'm using does not have cluster bombs, but let's just say you are using cluster because that's the damage we're going to be using, the damage I just showed on Greg. And that takes 8.466 seconds, meaning the DPS is 27,167, which isn't terrible, but it's definitely on the lower side of the average for power weapons, and is why cluster bombs have kind of fallen out of the meta recently, especially with auto-loading out of the game. But one thing you can do that's pretty interesting with Demolitionist on this weapon, you can use something like Armamentarium, which will give you 2 grenades, and you can shoot, throw a grenade, shoot, throw a grenade, shoot, and that allows you to shoot 3 rockets very quickly, and it only takes under 3 seconds to shoot 3 rockets now. And this is not including the grenade damage because depending on which grenade you use, that will vary the numbers. But now this is doing 47,309 DPS, and once you add in grenades, it's going to be well over 50,000, so that's actually pretty good burst damage. So overall, the best role on this rocket launcher is Cluster Bombs, then Demolitionist, and it's not going to be necessarily top tier for DPS or anything like that, but it's pretty good for ad clear. But if rockets ever become meta again, which I think is kind of doubtful at this point, but if they do, it would be a pretty good one to have. Next up will be the shotgun, which is a slug shotgun, which is pretty interesting. I haven't really broken one down in PvE. And looking at the perks, there really isn't anything too crazy. In the left column, you have something like Outlaw, maybe Auto-Load and Holster. Then in the right column, you have Rampage, Triple Tap, and Swashbuckler. First one I'm going to look at is going to be Triple Tap, which is kind of interesting. Since this is a slug shotgun that only hits once, kind of like a sniper rifle, you're going to be able to proc Triple Tap very easily, and that's going to pull from thin air, give you more ammo, and also elongate your magazine. So it's actually pretty interesting. Another perk is Swashbuckler, which I think is just a better Rampage for shotguns because of the fact you can get a melee and get the full stack right away. And once you have Swashbuckler times 5 on this weapon and you hit those headshots, it does a lot of damage, to be honest. It actually feels really good. So for ad clear and things like that, Swashbuckler is probably the best perk just because you're going to be doing so much damage every time you hit those headshots. Final perk that is interesting about this shotgun is Outlaw, and usually Outlaw on a shotgun isn't that great, but since this is a slug, it's pretty easy to hit those headshots, get that Outlaw going, and you're then be getting that really quick reload to help you out. So overall, the best role is probably Outlaw Swashbuckler. You get those melees, you get that ×5 going and stuff like that. But for DPS, I'm going to test with triple tap because versus a boss, you won't really ever have Swashbuckler ×5 in most cases. So we're just going to show off the damage without Swashbuckler, Rampage, anything like that. And that's 18,442. Now look at the rate of fire of the weapon using triple tap to shoot as many shots as I can in a row without reloading. And once again, those bullets come out thin air, so that will also increase your total damage output of this weapon. And you see shooting off 10 shots took 8.183 seconds, meaning DPS is 22,537, which is kind of in the middle range of special weapons. Things like God Roll Snipers hit in the low 30s, so it's definitely not great, but shotguns in general aren't in a great spot right now. And if you guys want to see me make a video just about shotgun DPS, looking at things like Trench Bro and stuff like that and Shadowkeep, I can definitely make that video, just let me know. Now in PvP, you can get some pretty good rolls on the shotgun that kind of make it feel like Chaperone. I never really use Chaperone personally, or really even shotgun for that matter, so it didn't really fit my playstyle. I tried to play a few games with it, I wasn't really enjoying myself, but if you like Chaperone, I definitely think you would like this weapon, and it's pretty much a legendary version. And finally, the last weapon will be the 140 RPM sniper rifle. And looking at the perks for PvE, there really isn't too much going on here. There is multi-kill clip and rapid hit and box breathing, but all three of those perks are in the exact same slot. And there's not really those meta perks like triple tap or firing line. So there's really nothing worth going for PvE, especially since it's a 140 RPM. But you can get some really good PvP rolls such as moving target snapshot. Then I also have accurized rounds and an Icarus mod on my weapon. And if you've never watched any of my PvP gameplay before, I snipe a lot. Like I have probably 10,000 kills on Beloved since it came out in PvP. And the first game I used this new sniper, I didn't really like it. I was like, what the hell is this scope? I literally couldn't hit anything. As you see right here, this is like the only clip I recorded from my first game. But as I got more and more used to it and got used to the scope, I started popping off a bit. Like I got to the point where I could not miss a flick with this weapon. And on PC, the stats don't matter too much on snipers. The aim assist value does help a bit on PC, on mouse and keyboard, but it's not nearly as important as controller. So it's mostly just personal preference at that point, and like what scopes you like, or if you like 90s versus 140s. Like I said, I've been using the 90 RPM Beloved for a very long time now. And before that, I did use Supremacy, so I am used to 140s a bit, but it's just been a while. But once I got used to Sniper, I actually really started enjoying it. I'm definitely looking forward to getting the Raid Sniper with Snapshot also, because I've heard a lot of good things about that. But this is a really solid 140 RPM Sniper Rifle with pretty similar stats to the Raid one that you can farm a lot easier. It only took me a few hours to get this roll. Yeah, it might not be perfect with like the mass work and things like that, but it's good enough. So all these highlights are only from 7 games I played with this sniper. Then I moved on to playing with the shotgun for a bit. And you can see as these 7 games go, my aim gets more and more consistent with the sniper. Now there's not too many like double and triple kills and things like that. There is skill-based matchmaking in every single playlist right now in the game. And on PC, that results in a very fun experience, let me tell you. So I found it hard to get like, you know, big streaks going, but there's a lot of really nice shots in these highlights. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And like I said, there's not really too many standout PvE roles for this sniper. If you guys are curious about 140s versus 90s for DPS, just let me know. I can definitely make that video in the future. I think it's a good topic to see how 140s stack up to 90s for DPS and things like that. But if I was going to do a 140, this definitely would not be the sniper I'd be using in that video. So overall, which weapons are worth getting? Well, the rocket launcher is actually a pretty unique rocket launcher. It has demolitionist and cluster bombs, which no other rocket in the game has. So you're going to have that really good damage with clusters, then also really good utility with that demolitionist. And rockets aren't necessarily meta right now, but if they do become meta again or they get buffed, that will be a good one to have ready for that time. Then the shotgun actually feels pretty good. Its base DPS isn't competitive with things like snipers in the game, but its ad clear with Swashbuckler actually felt really good. One-shotting all those majors from pretty far away felt pretty nice, honestly. And I was kind of surprised by a slug actually feeling usable in PvE. And finally, the sniper is just a PvP sniper if you're a PvP player. Definitely go grind this one out. It is pretty much one of the easiest 140s to farm right now that has snapshot and good perks like that for PvP. The only other good 140 to farm is Twilight Oath, and that does not come with snapshot from the Menagerie. So pretty much it just leaves this as the only snapshot 140 to farm. Anyways, let me know which one of these weapons you farmed out and which ones you like. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.